tonight, Skipper James risks sinking his boat when he's surrounded by 30 other trawlers. John and his crew go it alone in temperatures of -10.
Roll on in summer days!
And Jimmy may have to throw his fish back into the sea.
I'm not out here to dump fish.
Oh dear, dear.
It's all in a day's work for the men who do the most dangerous job in Britain. "150 miles south of the Arctic Circle, whitefish trawler Ocean Venture is taking a huge risk. They've come to the deep and dangerous waters of the Atlantic with no guarantee that they'll find any fish. It's the first time that Alan Dennison, the youngest deckhand on the boat, has been this far north.
I never really get scared. This is home to home. I spend approximately 9 months of the year at sea. I spend more time on this boat than what I actually do home in my own house.
They're 6 days into a 10-day trip, but their hold is half empty. So they've left their usual fishing grounds to come north in the hope of catching highly prized Greenland halibut, which will earn them big money. Skipper John waits anxiously to see what's coming aboard. The haul is massive, but it's not what they were expecting. It's redfish, almost unknown in the UK, but hugely popular in France and Spain.
Yes, without a doubt, Ocean Venture, best fishing boat in the fleet.
It's been a while since John caught any redfish. It used to fetch a good price.
Looks like a piranha.
But before he gets too excited, John calls his fish agent in Peterhead to find out if the redfish is going to make the boat's fortune. "200 miles east of Ocean Venture, the skipper of the trawler Amity is also in a good mood.
Oh, what a beautiful morning!
Like a summer's day today.
The skipper and his gang today.
I can hear the prawns from here.
Amity is fishing for prawns in the North Sea. Only 12 hours ago, the boat was in the teeth of a force 10 storm and the crew in a deep depression.
Oh, what a difference a day makes. Today it's the best job in the world. Yesterday in the storm it was the worst job in the world. Absolutely amazing.
Skipper Jimmy Buchan has been chasing the elusive prawns for 5 days. With little success. This is their first haul since the storm, and first mate Kevin O'Donnell is desperate to start catching some prawns and making some money.
Yes, we're going to catch them today. Skipper is singing and everything.
What do you think, Kevin?
Very good haul. I'm so pleased with the skipper today. He's a good man. Yeah.
The problem is that it's mostly fish and hardly any prawns. But at least now they've got something to sell.
Look at that, lovely big fish. Absolute beauty.
As well as cod, they've got some monkfish, also known as anglerfish.
The reason it is called an anglerfish is the seabed is this colour, this brown colour. So he's sitting there with his angler out, just over his mouth like this. just like a fishing rod. And along comes the fish to eat this, which is luminous, and this opens up. And once you go in there ain't no return.
Amity might have got a big haul of fish, but they still need to catch prawns. And they're not the only boat in the North Sea looking for them. Amity has to fight for its catch with the 60 other prawn boats that fish out of Peterhead, including their arch-rival, Fruitful Bow. In sharp contrast to Amity, the ambitious skipper of Fruitful Bow, 29-year-old James West, has found more prawns than he knows what to do with. They're at the end of a 10-day trip and have only got a few more boxes to fill. And it looks like James's luck is still in. He's spotted a group of boats all circling the same fishing ground.
We spot a prawn just came up in this area, and everybody's kind of gathered into this area. There must be about 20 or 30 boats fishing within a 6-mile range here now.
So many boats in one place on the radar is a sure sign of rich pickings, but it's not that straightforward. As all the boats jostle for space, they're in danger of the marine equivalent of a motorway pileup.
Trying to get through all these boats is, I went through this way and there's a boat going that way and then this way, and my gap's just going to open up hopefully, but then there's another guy coming this way and he's going to close up the gap.
But the danger isn't just on the surface, it's what's hidden beneath the waves. Every boat is towing a net which is 1/4 of a mile long. If the trawlers don't stay at least a mile apart, their gear could easily become tangled.
If one of these boats was to stick up and they would have to heat back their gear, then you get into a wee bit of a problem and everything will go into knots.
If James makes one wrong move, he could cause a mid-sea collision and lose his boat, worth more than £1.5 million. In the freezing waters of the North Atlantic, John, skipper of Ocean Venture, is having the spare bins put into the fish hold in anticipation of more good hauls. Below deck, Alan and Jonathan are busy packing away the last catch. John's gamble of travelling to deep waters seems to be paying off. They've just found out that their haul of redfish is worth a massive £2,500.
Woohoo! Yeah, I can just see the pound signs rolling in Johnny's eyes. The big dollars are coming home. There'll be no more charity shopping for you, Johnny.
We'll get a steak summer from the hen, Blue.
Aye.
Lads! Well, maybe manage to take a wife out for a steak, lad.
Aye, I'll maybe take mine to the chip shop.
For a deep fried Mars bar.
No, patty and chips, boy, patty and chips.
One thing that won't be on offer at the chip shop is another inhabitant of the deep water. Distant cousin to the shark, it's the rat fish.
Very bad spike in her back. The spike breaks off inside your body. I've actually heard of people having to get airlifted because it's poisonous. It actually tastes a bit like a lemon soda fish, but there just isn't a market for him. The housewife isn't going to go into a shop and buy something called a ratfish. Well, would your wife buy a ratfish?
Fruitful Bow is still dodging 30 other boats and their fishing gear as they all fight for the prawns in the same area of the sea. Skipper James has just managed to avert a catastrophe.
Just as we was towing down here, everybody's towing in the same strip, but everybody's got their idea of how the best spot of prawns is at. And us and the other boat, the Murray Endeavour, we ended up just a bit close to him just now. Too close for my liking, but everything was alright.
Alright, special tonight is chicken korma. For somebody wanting.
Yeah, I'll have a chicken korma, please. Yep.
Fruitful Bow is a family business, and amongst the crew is James's youngest brother, Andrew, who has only been at sea for the past 3 months.
Alright, chef. Chef. Yeah, you know, six chicken kormas, please.
This trip, they've been doing well, and they need just one more good catch to send them off home.
If it's not a good haul this time, I suppose it'll be a bit of disappointment, and it's going to take longer if I'm going to fill the boxes, and we're not going to get so much money at the end of it as well, so, but hopefully it'll be all right.
As the net comes in, it looks as though it's another bumper haul. But it isn't prawns that are making the net so heavy. It's a massive boulder.
That was so big, we would call that a Mini Cooper.
The boulder has ruined their catch and torn the net. James's middle brother Robert is first mate on the boat. He isn't impressed.
Pretty much all the fish, they're all pretty much destroyed and not keepable. A lot of fish and prawns are broken and squashed. You can't keep them, so I'll just write this all off.
The wasted haul and damaged net are spreading mutiny on the bow, led by the cook, William.
Everybody's kind of bored and hacked off, so it's been a slow start, so we'll maybe have to throw James out the wheelhouse and put Robert in. Do you think you can make a better job, Rob?
Only one way you find it.
James out, Robert in. Yay! Revolution! Yeah, baby! Revolution!
It's the first bad haul that Fruitful Bow have had this trip, and it's hit James hard.
I would say my morale's poor. And the crew probably the same. But I will be okay. But you do feel crap, it does affect you if you're not catching.
Fruitful Bow's rival, Amity, have a different problem. They're catching too many fish and not enough prawns for the skipper Jimmy.
Too many empty boxes down there, boys. We need to get them filled up.
Well, you better do something about it then.
I'm trying my best, Kevin, I'm trying my best.
As a prawn boat, the amount of fish that Amity can catch is limited by EU rules. If they catch too many fish, they will have to throw them back, even if they're dead.
The rules is there to conserve fish. I do understand that. But as I've been searching, and the weather's been bad, the prawns have not been coming out of the seabed. With the result, I've been catching more fish than I would normally catch. It's very hard for me to come down to my crew and tell them, well, next haul we'll have to throw the fish away. It's crazy.
Jimmy's already tried 3 different fishing grounds and hasn't found enough prawns. He has no choice. He'll have to shift again, this time to a 200-meter deep ravine. It's one of his old hunting grounds, but it has destroyed his nets in the past.
I'm prepared to take that chance because the prawns may just be that bit bigger, there may be more. Well, maybe haul, be a poor haul, but in the fishing you can never tell until you try.
To get to the ravine, Jimmy will have to steam for 50 miles, which will cost £300 and lose valuable fishing time.
We will have a fishy on a little dishy when the boat comes in.
On Ocean Venture, deckhands Alan and Jonathan are doing some running repairs. They're still in the freezing waters of the North Atlantic.
It's -2 degrees in the water just now. Is that what it is?
If you fell into the water out here, the chance of survival at the very max would be 15 or 20 minutes, I would say, before hypothermia set in.
The reality is that anyone falling in the water here could be dead within 15 minutes. Down in the warm galley, having finished his duties on deck, Tucker is cooking haddock for tea.
Me, I'm the chef, or cook. I've been to sea 18 years this year. My friends would probably think I'm a bit nuts. I mean, they know how dangerous it is, boats going down, fishermen getting drowned, and I suppose they worry about me, but it's something I never think about. If I thought about it, I wouldn't have come to this job. You're missing your friends and your family and your loved ones. It's probably one of the loneliest jobs in the world, I would say.
Missing the family is an occupational hazard for trawlermen, but it's particularly hard on those with young children, like 24-year-old Alan. Alan and his wife Lisa have 2 girls, 7-month-old Alex and 3-year-old Libby.
Sometimes when I go away to sea for a long time, Libby goes around the house saying, "Dad's lost, we can't find him, Dad's lost." That's got the downside there. You miss your kids growing up.
I choose to stay at home the whole time.
You want me to stay at home the whole time?
If the crew can't be at home, at least they can enjoy Tucker's home cooking, a highlight of Skipper John's day.
You can't beat it, a fresh haddock, straight out the sea, and the frying pan, on the plate.
Well done, chef.
Cheers, Johnny.
Top notch, 2 guy.
Cheers, boys.
You are wasted at this job, brother.
Cheers, Dave.
Right up, wakey, 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 wakey! Right up! Up you go!
The crew of Fruitful Bow have been in their bunks for less than 2 hours.
Right up, boy! Wakey, wakey!
They haul 4 times a day and often have to work 20 hours at a stretch.
Wakey, 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 wakey! Come on, Andrew!
After 8 days at sea, it's taking its toll.
What time is it?
I don't know these things.
I need that advice.
I don't know time or day.
But there's nothing like a big haul of prawns to wake everybody up.
That's a good one, yeah. Typical James West.
It's what Skipper James West has been waiting for.
This is what we like to see. Big baskets full, small baskets half full. So that's telling us it's a better selection of prawns, which is absolutely excellent.
With such an impressive last haul, James finally turns the boat for home, to the obvious joy of the crew.
Take me home!
To the place where we belong!
Take me home!
Why the happy? Wee bit like that, I think.
Country road, take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, my mama.
Take me home. Country road, take me home. Country road.
Fruitful Bow steams into port. The head of the West family fishing dynasty, James Sr., is looking out for his son. Having docked in the harbour, the catch is being unloaded for market. James Sr. comes down to see the fruits of their labour.
It's been good fishing, and if they'll make a nice trip, I would say. I think I would have been quite proud of it. So we're all happy.
The younger generation triumphs over the older generation.
I don't have everything they know.
I'm not saying nothing.
In the morning, they'll find out whether youth has triumphed over experience when the fish is sold at market.
North or northwest 5 to 7, perhaps scale 8 later in Faroes and southeast Iceland. Snow showers.
As Ocean Venture prepare for their final haul in deep water, the crew are facing the worst Atlantic weather so far.
The nightmare what is like that. We can't see what's happening for snow just now.
John the skipper is snug and warm in the wheelhouse.
I'm very cosy out here, but I've been out there and done it. My turn is past.
Roll on in summertime!
They've been getting excellent hauls of redfish, but they're still searching for the valuable but elusive Greenland halibut.
It's looking okay. It's looking good. Oh, we struck gold! I should come out here more often.
Nestled amongst the redfish are some Greenland halibut. They might not look like much, but these are some of the most expensive fish in Britain.
Well, we've had good fish in here in the deep water, so I'm delighted. That makes it all worthwhile. We know we're going to pay at the end of it. I think we'll just go home now. See if we can catch a price in the market.
The fish market will be the real test of whether Ocean Venture's trip is a success or failure. But it will be 48 hours before they find out.
We've been blown on board with the snow.
First, they have to steam home through the snowstorm.
He's away. He's one of the lucky ones.
"320 miles away in Peterhead, skipper James West is unloading the last of Fruitful Bow's catch. Their prawns have already been sold to their regular buyers and more than covered the boat's running expenses of £15,000. But if the crew are to get a decent payday, their fish must get a good price at the daily market.
40 a pick, 40 a pick, 40 a pick. Small cod, 2 1/4 at 80. 2 1/4 at 80.
Success or failure for Fruitful Bow is all down to their fish agent, Stephen Mowat.
95 on, 95 on, 95 to 1.
The buyers at this wholesale market include distributors who sell fish across Britain and Europe, as well as processors who will turn the fish into anything from fish paste to fish fingers.
1 3/4 at 75. 1 3/4 at 70.
Fruitful Bow's cod doesn't sell well. There's too much cod in the market today, and prices are low.
3 at 55. 3 at 55.
But Stephen's hoping to see a better result with the squid.
75. 75. Is it 80? 75.
That's a squid there. The squid's made 80 pounds. Beautiful, beautiful fish. It's not just fantastic money, but it's okay, you know, it's well over 2 pounds a kilo. But they're lovely fish.
But what really pleases Stephen is the price he gets for the Atlantic halibut. £400 a box.
400 odd quids for 50 kilos, so about 8 pounds a kilo. It's a pity we couldn't get some more of them, eh?
Despite a shaky start, by the end of the auction, all the fish sells. Which means that each crew member earns a satisfying £1,300 for their 10-day trip. James the skipper is delighted.
Price is good in the fish market, so forget about how hard it was. And now we're in, we've got a good trip, everybody's going to be happy.
You keen to get out again now?
No.
At sea, news of the money Fruitful Bow made at market is rubbing salt in their competitors' wounds.
The Fruitful Bow who's landed today, big shot. So, wee bit envious. As they say, the money's in the bag with him. My bag's still wide open.
In his hunt for the elusive prawns, Jimmy has brought his boat to their 4th fishing ground of the trip, a 200-metre deep ravine which could destroy his net.
Hope the prawns is working the night shift tonight. The moon's up. Hope they've not all gone to bed.
The crew are now about to haul. What they don't want to find is any more fish. If they exceed their limits, they'll have to throw it back.
A lot of fish there again tonight. It's too fishy. There's not a lot of prawns there.
They might have caught a few prawns tonight, but it's not enough. The amount of fish they've been netting is causing a crisis. Jimmy calls an emergency meeting to discuss tactics.
There's 2 options open to us at the moment. Whether shift the grounds, shift 30 miles, and maybe get no prawns at all and be in a bigger mess. Or do we stay here and start dumping fish?
I'm not out here to dump fish. I want to make money, like.
Kevin, I don't make the rules. I've just got to live within the rules.
So that's it now. We're going to have to shift round again and probably catch nothing.
Oh dear, dear.
Jimmy is caught between a rock and a hard place. He will have to draw on all his 20 years' experience as skipper to get himself out of this one. But he won't give up without a fight.
No surrender!
Tomorrow on Trawlermen, Amity catches more than just prawns in their nets.
If this blows up now, I'm a goner.
Ocean Venture makes one last haul.
How many fish, Subbers?
And the most successful pair trawlers in Peterhead set off with a rookie on board.